In this video, we're going to look at multiplication using area models, and I'm calling it part 1. In the last video that I did, we were doing long division, and I did something like 445 times 4. And I just went and did it because we're all adults and we've done this before. But the question is, how do they teach this idea, right? So in the last video, I did 4 times 5 is 20. I write a 0, carry the 2, so I'm carrying. 4 and 4 is 16, 2 more is 18, and then 4 times 4 is 16, and 1 more is 17. So how are we going to teach this idea? Because we are going to teach this standard algorithm, but how do we get there? And how we get there is using an area model. All right, so an area model is basically, it'll look like a tape diagram at this point, but it will actually become bigger and be more of a square shape in just a little bit. So in this video, though, what we're going to do is we're going to represent 4 times 445 over here. So we're going to write 4 on this side, and over here, I'm going to write 445. And we're going to actually kind of draw this proportional, meaning that 400 is biggest, so it's going to be the biggest chunk. 40's next, and 5 is smallest. So as you can see, I used expanded form. So 445 became 445. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 4 times 400, write the answer here. 4 times 40, write the answer here. 4 times 5, write the answer here. And then see what we get total. Okay, so 4 times 400 is 16 with 2 zeros. Okay, 4 times 40 is 16 with 1 zero. And 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, now we're going to add these numbers together. Now I'm going to add them kind of strangely. I'm going to actually add them in probably opposite order that you would do it in, which is fine. It's not bad. But there's a reason why I'm adding them in this order. Because look at that 20 that we got. Let's see where that 20 is over here. Okay, let's see where that 8 came from. 4 times 40 was 160, but we carried over the 2. So there's that 160, but we carried over the 2, and then carried over the 1. So what this is trying to help students understand is the idea of carrying over, where that 2 came from, where that 1 came from. It all has to do with when I stack and it carries over. Kind of cool. Okay, so again, you are as teachers going to teach your students a standard algorithm, but this is going to be the build-up that you're going to do first so that they have an aha moment and they understand why they carry. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one more. I'll just make it up. What if I had 863 times 5? Now we know how to do that multiplication here, but let's go ahead and model it with a tape diagram. Or I should say an area model is really what it's called. Sorry. Okay, so that 5 is going to go right here, and that 863 is going to go expanded form across the top. So I'm going to write 863. Here, let me move it over just a little bit. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, now let's multiply each of these, and then we're going to stack and add. So 5 times 8 is 40. Add 2 zeros. 5 times 6 is 30. Add a 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay. Let's see what we get. 4,315. Whoop, whoop. Okay, now let's look to see how we got our numbers and what carried over. And now let's go over to our standard algorithm and see what happens. 5 times 3, 15, carry a 1. 5 times 6 is 30, 1 more is a 1, carry the 3. 5 times 8 is 43. All right, so I carried over a 1 and a 3. I carried over a 1 and a 3. You can see it right there. All right, so again, we're trying to show students why we use this algorithm, where it comes from. And it comes from this idea of place value. All right, good luck. This should be the first part of your 3.5 homework.